Welcome everyone to another episode of Byte by ewizcommerce. In this podcast, we bring curated AI stories and e-commerce insights from global experts to guide you in your digital transformation journeys. I am Deepak Gawas, your host, and today I am thrilled to welcome Michael Vax to our podcast. Uh, Quick introduction about Michael. He's a celebrated expert in digital commerce with a remarkable 30-year-old journey in IT and e-commerce. He has played some pivotal roles at industry giants like Hybris, Spikerby, SAP, and Elastic Path. He is also the author of AI-powered e-commerce, an ebook which explains the strategic uses of AI in enhancing customer experiences and optimizing operations. He's passionate about nurturing e-commerce talent, and hence he has started offering some specialized courses at CommerceisDigital for both B2B and B2C e-commerce. His courses range from e-commerce training for business leaders to implementing AI in e-commerce and also custom training. So get ready for some really insightful discussions on how you can redefine the intersection of technology and e-commerce. So thank you, Michael, for joining us today.
Thank you for introduction, Deepak. My pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So we'll start directly jump into our series, and like we said, this won't be a standalone episode. We're going to do a series on the complete guide to mastering AI powered B2B e-commerce. And today's episode is the gateway to laying down the foundation. So we'll unpack the key differences between B2B and B2C e-commerce, the modern B2B landscape and its challenges, how AI is transforming B2B e-commerce, and there will be more in the next series of episodes. So, Michael, with that, I would like to jump to the first one, the most basic one, which is, can you define B2B e-commerce in your own words and how it's distinct from B2C e-commerce?
Good question, and not as simple as it sounds, because you can see hear different opinions on this. Some people say B2B e-commerce is almost the same as B2C. Others say it's completely different. Both parties are right, but they're talking about different cases and different type of company. One thing that definitely important for B2B and different for B2B, we have different customers. Instead of individual or consumer, they are dealing with organization. There's still some people who are buying, but they're buying on behalf of organizations. So this is that's really one of the first key differences. To distinguish between them, I heard some experts calling shoppers versus buyers. So we have shoppers in B2C and buyers in B2B. I really like it because it's kind of, as soon as we start using different words, we're getting less confused. So let's talk about B2B buyers. Their motivation, their driving, why they came to online store to buy is very different from shoppers. Shoppers may be buying for themselves, for their family, maybe buying gifts. Why buyers, the only reason they came to shop is because it's part of their job. They have job to do. Yeah. So that is obviously very different, and everybody who is developing B2B e-commerce should keep this in mind. Should have when they thinking about customers, should imagine super busy person who has millions of stickers on his desk and monitor. Yeah, needs to do a lot of different things. Yeah, so the most precious asset that they bring to you, it's time. So when we're developing B2B UI, user experience, you should think about productivity versus make it fancy, make it enjoyment and all. There are busy people, they have work to do, and also cost of mistake is much, much higher. Yeah. So, and this would, when we develop online shopping, we should develop for these people. They dealing with more complex work, they're super busy, and sometimes even ready to satisfy small price difference for convenience, because time is the main asset that they bring, and this is in short supply. Yeah. So this kind of the first thing, to think about them as organization and think about them as buyers versus shoppers. But now the kind of where confusion starts is what is B2B e-commerce, and some people saying it's the same as B2C, and others saying it's not. And both are, as I said, both parties are right. But it's really now it comes to the type of products that we're selling. So if somebody is selling office supplies, it's the same type of products that you can find in B2C shops. Like from product complexity is the same, from product description, delivery is the same. So that's kind of B2B, but simple products. There's still some difference in B2B, but they're simple products. But you can also have B2B when you're buying complex machinery or you buying spare parts for another complex machinery, And this is different B2B.
Right.
So here I think this really, we can differentiate it by complexity of the product and complexity of the buying process.
Great. So you mentioned three key points. One is the shopper versus buyers. They have a job to do. They need to do this,
Yeah.
And I really like the point which you mentioned that there is a huge consequence if they do it right. The price they pay is huge. And the last one, yes, the complexity of the products may increase and get extremely complicated.
Yes. And there's many other differences coming out of this, and I'm sure we'll cover it in the course of our conversation. But that's a key. Understand different buying persona, their motivation, and complexity they're dealing with.
Great. So that brings me to the next one, which is the modern B2B landscape has changed immense. What the modern B2B buyer was looking maybe 20 years ago and what he or she is looking today has changed. While the motivation is still the same, the way they buy, the way they explore options has changed. How would you describe this change? What is the shift that you have seen?
I think the first of all, what changed is the range of product or services or solutions that are people accepting possible to buy online. Yeah. In general, it's a history of e-commerce that people always were skeptical what you can buy online. Yeah. If you go through history of e-commerce, and I always starting my courses by looking at this and saying, hey, when online commerce just started, people say, okay, book I can buy online. Clothes, no way, I need to go and try it. Yeah. Then, clothes we can buy online, but shoes, no. Again, so there's a new business model comes, like Zappos introduced how to sell shoes online with great return, customer service, and so on. So the same kind of happening with B2B, especially for complex product, expensive product. When pandemic was really a huge accelerator there because all of a sudden your salespeople cannot travel and business should still go on. Yeah. So one thing that really changed that is businesses accepted they can sell complex product online and expensive products online. So that is a huge change. Yeah. In order to do this, a lot of different techniques, a lot of different things you can implement, and you can look in the e-commerce platform. And I think we'll talk more about kind of functionality look in e-commerce platform. Other things that has changed is actually buyers are changing. That's new generation coming. There are people who are digital native. When they're buying for personal use, Amazon may be the first destination to research product, and they go online before they go into shop. Yeah, I'm looking at my kids and people younger generation. Millennials now are more than 60% of buyers. Yeah, so for them, it's very natural to be part of digital journey. It's more natural for them to go to the web than pick up the phone. And this is really getting adoption, and also they value their time. They really want to research products before talking to anybody. So in B2B, either entire journey become digital or part of the journey become digital. But there's practically no journeys where digital is not involved in one form or another.
So what they are one of the key change is they are actually spending time on their own self-service before actually trying to talk to somebody.
Even before self-service, they're basically working on awareness. Yeah, they're doing much more information become available, and marketplaces play a huge role in this. It's much more difficult to have walled garden now. Yeah, so more information is available, and this is what internet does. Internet opens information. That's a general trend, and of course, it applies to every industry, including B2B e-commerce. Yeah? So people definitely would like to research information, compare information. And here is a good lesson to all B2B merchants is open up. Because many businesses who are selling B2B, the default mode is to be closed. You cannot get information about products. You cannot get information about prices. Before they do business with you, you need to fill a bunch of form, apply for partnership, and wait 2-3 weeks before your credit check is they're doing your credit check and so on. Then you can only become a customer. But your competitor at the same time set up the portal. You can see the products. You can see default prices. You can maybe even buy with credit card. So that is a cultural shift that needs to happen. I wrote extensively on this. That depending, of course, the business. Every business is different. Like if you're selling chemicals, yeah, you definitely need to check and do it. But most of the businesses can be much more open. They may allow customer buy before registration or register in the process of buying, yeah, before being approved. Because you can use a credit card as a payment. You can use default prices. And people who value their time and want to try new vendor, they actually would go for it because it's fast and it's convenient, yeah. And if also you put a lot of information, a lot of about your products, doesn't matter how complex they are, yeah. There may be videos, there may be manuals, there may be technical descriptions, there may be recommendation on doing this. Yeah? That's great. Then they can try you out, give you a chance. And then you have the information, you can market to them, you can convince them to get special pricing if they register and all that. Yeah, but you get the customer. If you have a closed garden, they find another one that has gate open.
Right. And because you mentioned marketplaces, how have marketplaces fostered this behavior? I mean, how has it changed the overall buying journey?
Marketplaces is another channel, yeah. Because in marketplace, you can actually see it's open. You can see different products from different vendors. You can compare prices. You can do it as well. So they definitely bringing information together and making sure it's easy for people to do comparison shopping or select what they want and compare different vendors and so on. It's a complex question for businesses. Should they go to marketplace or not? The pros and cons. Yeah. Of course, that is the fastest way to go online. If you have nothing, don't have your own e-commerce structure, you want to start selling online, marketplace is the easiest way to start. And you immediately getting access to customers who are already there, who are already looking. Yeah? So that's the pros. But people also should be a bit cautious because in marketplace you usually don't have direct relation to the customer. It's marketplace customers versus your customer. You have less control over price and brand message and so on. So definitely marketplace should be part of omnichannel strategy, but it also should be very carefully considered what products I sell, when I sell them. Am I using first party or third party model? Because there are two ways to deal with marketplaces. Yeah, do I sell all products or only some categories? How do I combine it with my own digital presence and online store?
Yeah, that's an interesting point, Michael. I mean, I never looked at it that way. One of the easiest ways for a B2B seller would be to get started on a marketplace because you already have an audience out there.
It's easier, yeah. You can do it practically without much IT expense. You don't need your own e-commerce platform.
Right.
You also, depending on if you're selling on one marketplace, how much product you have, also you don't need a lot of to start. That's a way to try digital if it fits overall your business strategy. Yeah? But then after you will implement your own e-commerce strategy, it doesn't mean that you should go a step away from marketplaces. It's just one of the channel, and you balance your strategy between these channels, again, depending on your objective, your market, your products, and so on.
Good. So a lot of these, and one of the key points that you mentioned is the web store as well as the marketplaces. They have digitized a lot of product catalogs, so the buyers can easily find them, get the right information, and make the decision. So that is one of the key points definitely B2B buyers prefer. What should B2B businesses do to ensure that they are the first choice of these digital natives, like you have put out, who are digital first.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of businesses still struggle on how much, like you said, how much digital they should go, how much information they should put out, how much of it should be a walled garden. So, is there a fine tuned balance they can aim for, or is there a mandatory foundation they should lay down? How should they go about it?
I think first of all, people should think about this as a journey where you start, you experiment, you move one step forward, then you try see how it's going, and you kind of do next thing. We already talked that marketplace can be this first step. Yeah, but one thing that is necessary to address when you're going on this journey is to look at your internal data, at your product data, at your pricing and all of that. Because in standard B2B model, you're selling through the sales force. You have salespeople who know your products and your business inside out. They have this information in their heads, which allows to have minimum information in your internal systems. So in ERP, you don't need a lot of pictures, you don't need a lot of information, because orders is done by internal staff and by knowledgeable staff. So now you want to put it online. So you want to show it to people who are not working for your company, who don't have this experience. Yeah. So it all really comes from product data at the beginning. And before you even try, you need to look at your product data and see how you can clean it up. There's a lot of inconsistencies there. There may be some products that we already stopped selling a long time ago. There may be duplicates. Descriptions are not descriptive. Yeah, you may not have images. Your attributes may be in some PDF files versus easily browsable and searchable online. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to even put this data online because customer won't be able to find anything. So this is an important part to prepare your product data for selling online. Then other thing to look at is additional content explaining what your brand is, what's your product, how they use it. Can be blog posts, videos, whatever content marketing is. But it's important because that's what information buyers are looking for. Why I should buy from you? Because our manufacturing process, we are building this, or we're buying from the best suppliers, and they who are environmentally friendly, and whatever your brand story is needs to be told. Yeah. So this is product data. But then prices. In B2B, one of the things that we all know is that there's a lot of custom prices that are already done in agreements and all of that. Yeah. And historically, salespeople may have done different deals to different customers. I heard a story and worked with customers when nobody actually knows where this price came from, because somebody did deal 5 years ago or 6 years ago. I had a request from one B2B merchant, manufacturer of some electrical equipment. Their customer said, we don't know what our custom prices are. So they asked for a feature that they can go on the e-commerce site and download their price list to this level of transparency. Yeah? So cleaning up, maintaining these prices takes a lot of effort. It actually costs money. And also not transparent to customers. It's maybe you're losing money in something. Maybe you something is not priced right, because prices can be done per category, per separate items, or some special deals. Some of them in percentages, some of them hard discount. Yeah. So it's really create a massive amount of data that is difficult to manage. Doesn't provide the best customer experience, and even internally it's difficult. So these other things that if you can simplify it, do it. Introduce different price lists. And then it will be easier to push it to e-commerce, because at some point this information will need to show the e-commerce. And when customer logs in, they should see their prices, not somebody else's price.
Right.
So that's other area that would help and would pay off if people can clean up before even kind of going online. So those are kind of preparation steps before going online. And actually, it doesn't matter marketplace or not marketplace, because you need product information. You need to have price. Yeah.
Right. So you highlighted one of the key challenges, the custom pricing. Like you rightly said, some are deals which are ages old, so you stick to those pricing. Sometimes you offer seasonal discounts, sometimes it is stock clearance discount and quantity based discounts. If you had to talk about the top 5 challenges businesses face in B2B commerce, I am sure the pricing would be one of them. What would be the other four?
The other one would be actually user experience. Yeah. So we need to optimize this user experience for productivity, not for enjoyment, not for conversion, promotion, for productivity. Yeah. Which means good product information, ability to find and filter it, because in B2B you can easily have tens of thousands SKUs or even millions. Yeah. So how do I narrow down? How do I not make mistake? How do I find it? Yeah. And then all processes need to be looked from B2B buyer perspective. Yeah. So yes, discovery is good product information, good filtering, good categorization. Yeah. Categorization, for example, can be done different because you can look at buyers' personas. For example, one side that is selling tools. Yeah. In addition, you can categorize internally, how you categorize internally, which is, again, internal view. But they also categorize by profession, who is using it. Is it carpenter or somebody who is doing metal work? And even the same product, but they belong to different categories. But you really targeting this persona and make it easy to find. Yeah. So after it's easy to find, the question is again how to you allow people to start doing business with you. And I always advocate allow people to buy at least simple product by credit card and don't close it. Yeah. So this is onboarding customer. I think it's very important. Then you also need to have people who are buying. In B2B, buying is collaborative experience because B2B buyer overall B2B customer is organization. So somebody knows what products to select. Other person can approve the budgets manager, and supplier purchaser will work in purchasing department will actually place the order. So when we're talking about a shopping cart, you should be able to share it. So people with different roles can have access to the same cart. So let's say if you are my manager, I put something in, you should approve. If total amount is bigger than some threshold, maybe two people should approve, depending on your purchasing. So this is a collaborative process, and for this you really need to have proper B2B e-commerce platform. And then also in B2B, customers may have several purchasing activities in progress. I'm buying for this department, I'm buying for this construction site, but it's only next week, and so on. So you need to have actually multiple shopping carts, shareable and multiple. Yeah. Right. Then people are buying in bulks. So you need to have special forms where you can put bulk order, because some of these buyers, they know what they're buying by heart. They can start just typing SKU versus, yeah. So as well as reordering, everything for productivity. And think about this buyer persona who is business, has a lot of things to do, maybe working on multiple purchases at the same time. And so that's definitely important thing. Yeah. The other part is that the salespeople that we mentioned before, who are welcome knowledge of the company and buying, yeah, they have a really important role to play. They are not getting obsolete by a car because they are actually holding all this knowledge and doing. Yeah? So when we talk about collaboration, if you're selling complex products, you're not selling office supply, but really selling complex B2B products, then e-commerce platform should have features for this buyer-seller collaboration. It can be form of just asking questions, adding comments on shopping cart, doing recommendation, or request for quote process already integrated into as a part of e-commerce system. Yeah. So this collaboration approach, this advisor, shopping assistant advisor approach, it's not easy things to implement, but it's absolutely important for success in B2B e-commerce.
Got it. So one is definitely the different set of pricing. Another challenge which you highlighted was ensuring that the buyer experience is extremely fulfilling. The sales, because your sales and as well as your buyer should be using that platform. So getting them to use it, speed up and automate their processes, that's another. Any key challenge that you face when, it comes with integrating with the business systems, because that's a very common ask that we are seeing that I need to integrate with my ERP or maybe warehousing management system.
Yeah, absolutely. ERP is obviously the key because most of the business do have ERPs already in place. Yeah, big one have more than one. So integration is very important. In general, e-commerce infrastructure is more and more becoming composable because usually you have multiple systems involved. Yeah? The way I look at this, okay, what function overall e-commerce system should have, and then you select what systems I need because there's also overlap in functionality between systems. Yeah? But in general, you need to have e-commerce, obviously. You need product information management, which is about the catalog and all that. It can be a separate team, product information manager system, or it can be part of your e-commerce system because all of them have catalog management. You have content management system to put all of these landing pages, blog posts, videos, and all of that. Again, depending on your need, and for B2B, it may be less important to have separate and really powerful content management systems than for B2C. So maybe using one that comes with your e-commerce system, but anyway, you need to have this. Yeah? And then integration comes along. Then you need to manage your prices somewhere. In most cases, it is ERP. Integration in this case will be quite complex, and different e-commerce system takes different approaches here. For example, some e-commerce, they're saying we are going to actually to do everything from ERP and we just optimize this integration. One of the challenges with integrating with ERP is that ERP systems were designed for internal staff accessing them. They were never designed and cannot handle internet load. So in most cases, you actually need to take information from them and put them in e-commerce systems that can scale to handle this load. Yeah, so I'm sure you had this
it's
already in your practice as well.
yeah, integrating with Dynamics or NetSuite. These are most of the integrations that we did, and that integration is extremely complex with an ERP. Getting the pricing, user data, how does it sync, what would be the source of truth, and then if you have marketplaces, how does the data flow?
Yeah, it's very inventory, or sometimes basically some products in B2B are built to order, and if you have this complexity, it doesn't mean that you cannot use digital commerce. You can. You just different part of your journey is digital, or you have special tools like product configurators available on your e-commerce site. Talking about integration, other integration is payment.
Yeah.
And in B2B, payments are very different than B2C in most cases. But now there's some good payment providers who are bringing B2B payments online as well, Balance and some others. Yeah, but you can pay by on credit. You can have different terms and all of that. And order management, because we talk about product information prices coming to e-commerce system, but order management is going back. And here they may go directly to ERP, and this kind of your integration of data back. Yeah, but also if you really in omni-channel environment, maybe you need separate OMS system or the management system that does this routing and order distribution, finds the best way, and then all your orders can come from different channels in it, and you reconcile this way. So integration is definitely much more complex in B2B.
Agreed. So, now that we listed down some of the challenges, let's move on to one of the most interesting part. I'm sure you'll also find it interesting is how have you seen AI transforming the B2B e-commerce space? Some of the real life examples would help, or if nothing, how do you see it changing?
Some topics we already discussed that getting more accepted. Then we have B2B e-commerce, so you can sell more and more things in e-commerce through digitally. I think that also people realize that in order to succeed with B2B e-commerce, you need to change. It's not technology is not enough. You actually need to change your organization.
Right.
Yeah. And this kind of one of the things that I'm addressing in my business is you need to have high level of digital literacy in your organization. And you need to show how digital marketing, how digital e-commerce work differently. And this is why I developed these training courses for B2C and B2B e-commerce for both implementation team and business teams to get this literacy, to understand how to use e-commerce, to understand how e-commerce can benefit, to understand that salespeople, you can actually benefit from using digital commerce versus be afraid of your job, because nobody enjoy selling, not double entering the order in multiple places. Yeah?
Agree.
So, but this digital transformation shouldn't be limited to IT department or implementation. Yeah? You need to change your processes. You need to look at your processes. You need to put incentives in place to drive adoption. Incentive to your customers to use your self-service e-commerce. Incentive to your sales team. What's happened with my commission is somebody some companies saying you get double commission. Because in the first half year, you need to actually, you are the person who has direct contact with customers. And you need to motivate them and educate them to go to online. That is absolutely key for success of any digital e-commerce. Yeah? So I see this level of maturity growing, level of understanding that you need to change both technology and culture and processes. Simplify your processes. We talked about simplifying product information, pricing, to prepare for this transition. And overall, we have more and more sophisticated tools to help B2B merchant with this job. Yeah. We have configure price quote tools. We have super powerful AI search engines that can do it. Yeah. We have now many more than we used to have even 5 years ago. E-commerce platforms that focusing on B2B, and not just talking about B2B, but actually have good set of B2B features. And this is why it's very important to get help when selecting B2B e-commerce platform, because it's very difficult to go beyond marketing parts and evil in details. These details need to be analyzed by professionals.
So I'm assuming you have covered all these aspects in your courses and your books. So could you tell us what are those key aspects that you have covered in your latest book, AI and e-commerce, which B2B e-commerce professionals can benefit from?
I basically target two groups of people. One is business people who actually work in commerce, sales people who work in there, marketing people there, or leadership. Yeah, so I have courses target like serving their needs, so they can understand what e-commerce is, what's the channels you have, because you have a lot of different channels, including such as IoT or conversational commerce and mobile commerce and things like that. How digital marketing works and what you need to, how people discover the product, determining your level of maturity and digital maturity and transformation, how to prepare your team. Basically, everything that is related to becoming digital business. And the second type of courses are focusing on implementation and on teams that implement and operate digital commerce. Yeah. And here I'm using this framework that I developed. I call Digital Commerce Canvas, that look at, okay, let's define your customers. Who is your customers? How is customer different? How are you doing customer segmentation in different way to do it? How are you doing customer registration and managing customer information? Yeah. Then we look at channels. What channels you want? Even this question of how many online stores should I have for complex business is not a simple question. Should I have one store for all locations that I'm going to? Should I have the same store for B2C and B2B if I'm using both model? Should I have, if I have multiple brands, should I create separate online properties for them or not? So this all needs to be discussed. Marketplaces, the channels, your how to avoid channel conflict, how to use your sales team, and what functionality you need for this to be still digitally enabled channel, digitally powered channel, even though there's still a lot of face-to-face for complex product is absolutely necessary. I need to do it. Then I move to products. How do you find product information? How do you find product taxonomy, categorization? Yeah. How do you define subscription products? If you're selling subscription, and many people doing services, products, bundles, and a bunch of different. how you're doing digital merchandise, upsell, cross-sell, relations between products, configurable bundle, kind of a lot of different things. Or for channels, there's some B2B specific things like punch out. I'm not going to go into describe what it is. It's super important for your big customers. You need to know how to implement your EDI channel. Product discovery. How do you make it easier for your products to be found and understand on your site through other means outside from a Google. So it's all important. Yeah. Prices we already discussed, like how to implement prices, what's the best practices in implementing prices, promotions. Yeah. And then we come into the really buying journey. Shopping cart. What's a B2B shopping cart? How many ways you can have to add to shopping cart? From product detail pages, from reorder form, from shopping lists, from there's millions of ways you can do to make this really fast and easy, enjoyable journey for your customers. Yeah. How your checkout looks like? What are the most checkout mistakes you have? Yeah. Payments, big area, complex areas we discussed with, especially for B2B. Yeah. Order management. So it's really kind of goes through all steps of journey. So these are courses for implementation teams that are used by B2B merchants as well as agencies who need to get everybody digitally trained and understand e-commerce. On purpose, I kept all my courses non-technical.
Okay.
You don't need to be developer to do it. Even I'm a former developer, architect, and CTO. Early parts of my career, on purpose, I did it that you don't need a developer degree or technical skills to get this e-commerce knowledge is essential to your job. Yeah, so this kind of things that I do, especially for B2B, is kind of business training for business people, and training for operations and implementation teams.
Great. That certainly sounds very helpful because you're talking about a lot of specific stuff that we have seen in implementations businesses struggle with. You have to guide them on how it has to be tackled, and it differs from business to business as well. So that's interesting.
Yes. Yeah. I was lucky to work for 3 major e-commerce platform companies, and in 2 of them I was leading also B2B e-commerce implementation. So I saw it from platform perspective, what features needs to be done, but I also worked with many B2B customers and understand their pain points and all of that. And then I came to a realization that lack of knowledge is really limiting factors for many businesses. Yeah, it's not a budget, it's not lack of tools to buy. It's how we organize ourselves, how we use ourselves, how we use these tools. That is limiting. And we all know that because everybody going digital, so pool of experienced people is limited. Yes, of course, you can hire a consultant, and I'm happy to offer my help as well, as you guys doing great work for your customers, yeah? But you also need to have internal knowledge. That's a combination. You cannot do either or.
Upskilling is necessary.
You need to have both.
Great. So one last question before we wind up today's episode is, any case study or any example of how AI has changed a particular process for a B2B e-commerce company from your book, if possible?
Yeah, like as everybody, I probably got interested in AI and fact about a year ago. So I started researching. So first I created actually training course on AI and e-commerce. And then I wrote the book called AI-powered e-commerce. You can get it on Amazon as an ebook or paper copy. Because many books are written from a point of view of AI technology. And my approach was to look at it from a commerce perspective and go beyond the buzz and focus on all different aspects of e-commerce that will be affected by AI. And most of it applicable for both B2C and B2B. There are some differentiation, but really what I learned that its impact on e-commerce, AI on e-commerce is really going to be big and going to apply to both B2C and B2B. The best way to look at this is AI is going to change 2 things. It's going to change user experience, so how customers interact with our during online selling, and backend operation. So user experience is really hopefully help merchant to sell more, to implement it correctly. And backend optimization will be more productive on backend. and optimize your cost. So it's kind of unique technology that affects both. Yeah, probably deserve separate podcast because, of course, there's many topics to discuss. But just to give you a taste of it, for example, I believe that AI is going to completely change product discovery process because current product search is still, despite all advances, it's mostly keyword based.
Right.
So if I'm as a customer coming to your site and I don't know right keywords, and for B2B buyers, it's even more because it's a complex thing they're doing, and they may not be expert in this industry of electrical equipment that I'm buying. Yeah, so search may not understand me. While in AI, these large language models, especially if they are trained on and enhanced with merchant data, which brings industry knowledge there, yeah? They actually understand my intent. So if you go to Amazon, and I did this experiment, and say, what computer should I buy? I typed in Amazon search box. I get list of results. Only one of these results was computer. There was somehow a book, How to Get Rich. I don't know why. Yeah. And some other unrelated stuff. When I ask you the same question in ChatGPT, it says, what you want to use computer for? Is it for office? Is it for study? Are you for gaming? Pros and cons, how to select? It's conversation, knowledgeable conversation. Yeah? So if you have AI adopted for product discovery, then you look at user interface and say, I have search box on the top and I have chat box at the bottom. Why? So if you have AI powered search and product discovery, that should be one.
Right.
Yeah? Because my conversation becoming also discovery, and there are already companies who are doing this, and my suggested products should also appear in my chat interface and all. The same with images, because I can upload, I need the bulb, electrical bulb that looks like that. I upload it, yeah? And it's also part of my search and discovery. So this is just one example of user experience that part change, yeah? And on the back end, it can be from dynamic prices for generating enhancing product attempts and all that. So really, AI impact will be huge. Companies who are going to ignore it for the next 2 years will be out of business. I'm absolutely dead serious. Because adaptation of this technology and what it can do for you or your competitors are really moving. These things are moving on really high, fast pace. Yeah, and if you look at e-commerce, there was no revolutionary technology since mobile came out. We have a lot of advancements. We discussed many of these podcasts, but really revolution things was mobile. And now it is AI.
Right.
So, yeah, people should pay attention and learn and try to implement it.
Awesome. Great. So, before we call it a day, if any of our audiences, if they wish to know more about your courses or your book or wish to reach out to you, how do they do that?
I think the best way is to go to my website, which is CommerceisDigital.com, and if you can put it into comments to your episode. There you can find courses, link to the book, as well as different forms to contact me. And you can also check me out on LinkedIn. So you can just find Michael Vax at LinkedIn, where I also post a lot of regular posts to different articles, engage in discussion with people from industry. So I welcome everybody who wants to talk, have conversation, and shared my interest in B2B e-commerce.
Right. So I will have all those links to his courses, books, and website and LinkedIn on our YouTube channel in the comments, so you can find all the URLs there. So with that, Michael, it was a great episode, and thank you for joining us. We'll have more, and we'll go into the details which you just mentioned, so more and more people understand the role of AI, the role of digital tech in B2B commerce as well as B2C commerce, and how they can make the most out of it. So we will have more such episodes.
Deepak, it was a pleasure talking to you. I think we had really great engaging conversation.
Thank you. Bye-bye, folks. We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.